Broadcasting from the great state of Texas, news and views with a Lone Star perspective. You can sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Or call in at 1-800-687-0790. Now, here's Chad Hasty.
Lubbock, Amarillo, Abilene, Wichita Falls, Midland, Odessa, Dallas, Fort Worth, down in Houston, over in El Paso, and anywhere else. Inside or outside the great state of Texas, wherever you may be on this Monday, April 13th of 2026, we welcome you in to the Chad AC Show. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Hopefully it was relaxing for you and maybe filled with some fun festivities. Or maybe you just got to relax over the weekend. Maybe that was you. You just got to hang out and relax and not do too much. Whatever it may have been, hopefully you got it done this weekend. And we've got another busy week in front of us, a lot to talk about throughout the week. It never slows down. Trump can send out an image at sometime in the late evening, early morning hours, and it gets everyone into a little kerfuffle out on the internet. People get upset about things. We may or may not get into that today as the show develops. We'll see. There's just some things where I look around and go, people, just stop getting upset all the time. There's just so much that, I guess it's for the left out there, because they get upset at everything Trump does. It's just continuous, where it's just a continuous hatred of the guy, and it's like, just pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles, and on the AI images, just kind of move on. No, Trump doesn't think he's Jesus. Okay? Just stop. He doesn't think he's Jesus. Meanwhile, these are the same Democrats who are just fine with what James Tallarico is going around saying about Jesus and Christianity and everything else. So I'm more offended what James Tallarico does and says, because he's trying to pass himself off as a preacher in chief. But anyway. We've got that we can get into as the show progresses today. We've got some news on J.D. Vance that we can talk about. We've got two guests in studio today. Candidates running in the 19th Congressional District in that runoff. Abraham Enriquez joins us in the studio. Coming up at 5:35 this evening, we'll visit with him about his runoff campaign. He's running against Tom Sell in that Republican primary, and I think things are going to heat up in that primary as we get closer and closer to the runoff date. And then coming up at around 6:05, for those of you in the Lubbock area, if you're a fan of the Lubbock Arts Festival, which is one of the largest arts festivals in the region, you're going to want to hear from the folks when they come up at 6:05 this evening. We're going to have some tickets to give away to that event throughout the week, so that's something you don't want to miss out on. We've got that new poll out showing John Cornyn with the big lead of 1 point in his own poll that he released. Woo! I'm telling you, that's something to be proud of. We'll get into that as the show continues, and of course, everything else making headlines today. We want to hear from you, get your opinion on. You've heard from everybody else all day long. Now it's your chance, your opportunity to have a say in what's going on out there. Maybe you want to talk about the day's events. You can do that. Maybe you've got some local stories or statewide stories that you want to get into and talk about. We can, of course, do that. How do you get in touch? It's real simple. You can text in at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. When you text in, give us your name and where you're listening from. That way we can give you a nice proper shout out and acknowledgement. We can do that for you. When if you don't have the time to text in, you can always tap that app that you're listening to us on. Send us a message that way. It's easy. You can do it. You can send us not only a message, but voice memos and more through the station app. Find us on social media at Chad Hasty Radio. That's on Instagram, X, and Facebook as well. And, yes, the old-fashioned way, the phones. 1-800-687-0790. That's 1-800-687-0790. The first voice you hear from when you dial in today, he's just a guy trying to get some last-minute things done. It's our good friend, Nick. Nick, how you doing today?
I am okay. As you said, there's a lot to do. Mondays are pretty busy.
Yeah.
But we're trucking along.
That's good.
As they say. Well, actually, I was a little disappointed.
Oh, no.
Over the weekend with all these promises of potential severe weather, of a lot of rain, thunderstorms, warnings going up beforehand, and then, 25 minutes of gentle rain? I think I heard two lightning, two bolts of thunder.
Ooh.
And that was it.
Yeah.
A little pitter-patter of the rain, and 30 minutes later, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we got. So a little sad, a little disappointing. I thought we were going to have a nice soaker over the weekend, but no.
Yeah.
We weren't that lucky.
No, it was just enough to make you go, really?
Yeah, exactly. A spittle.
That's what we get out of this.
Yeah.
And I had that feeling going into Saturday.
Yeah.
I had the feeling. I was just like, it's not gonna.
But this was statewide
these
too.
Forecasters, they don't know. They just.
We can do it better. Really? I mean,
I don't know if we can do it better. But I'm sitting here, and all week they're just like, look.
Keep the eyes to the sky.
Look, folks. Get your rowboats ready, okay? You're gonna. It's the rains are coming now. Thursday we may get some. Never mind about Thursday. Thursday we were just lying to you about Thursday.
Yeah.
The real day to watch the weather come in. That's going to be Saturday, and not only will we get rain here, all of Texas will get some rain.
Yeah.
And it was basically all of Texas except our area.
But I don't even think, I think around the North Dallas, they were a little spotty too.
Yeah, they were a little spotty.
Yeah, especially when it came to just as what we experienced, all of the warnings.
Yeah.
Hey, heads up, all throughout the week, it's going to be rough. And then what do we get? Sheer disappointment.
Yeah. Which again, I don't want any of the severe stuff. I don't want any of the the hailstones.
But, a good rainfall.
A good rain. Is that just too much? Is that too much? And then the weather forecasters are just like, well,
I don't know what to tell you guys.
Tell you, folks.
We looked at our instruments.
Yeah, our instrument. We're going to finely tune the instruments. We're going to yell We're going to do some Windows updates and see what went wrong in the.
Do you think they're going to say something went wrong? I think they're just going to say, well,
they'll never go back to it again.
Yeah,
it's like when you they won't put out like an apology
from the weather.
Yeah,
we want to apologize.
Yeah.
For all of your plans you canceled.
From the desk of whoever meteorologist.
Weather.gov.
Yes, we apologize. We know. We promised you.
Yeah.
We told you. But, and again, like the local guys, they're always sitting here telling you, stop paying attention to the national weather apps. Like the national weather apps.
They say that?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
They do because they're like, they don't.
Listen to us.
Listen to us.
We know
what's happening in your own backyard.
Listen to us tell you that last weekend was supposed to be crazy.
And it was just, so you hear that and you go, well, okay, I will. I'm going to listen to you guys. Yeah. And so what did I do? So I noticed there was a difference in some of the forecasting. I went,
that's never
no,
good.
No,
that's never
no,
good.
Because my feeling is I want the national and the local guys to agree.
You would think that they would.
You would think
often.
so, but they don't.
Yeah.
And
like, who do you pick?
There started off being like a variation in like how cool it was going to be.
Sure. Or like the percentage of rain.
Yeah.
60% here, 80 there.
Yeah.
And then it slowly veers.
Yes.
We are in severe weather season too, so.
I guess.
That's why my hopes were high.
Yeah. But. And then they say we're going to get like a mega El Nino or something.
Yeah.
We're not. It's just, they don't know.
They're just making up words at this point.
I know. Right now, like over at K-Mac, Ron Roberts is listening right now, going, I will have my revenge.
Yeah.
I know.
He does plot a lot.
He's a plotter.
He does the tapping his fingers against each other.
Yeah, he's listening right now going,
Mr. Burns.
He only knew. Yeah. But, I just, at this point, it's like, you just, whatever we get. Whatever we get, we get. And, I guess, just be happy about it. Hey, today is National Scrabble Day. Is today National Scrabble Day. So we ask you this, just your favorite old school board game. So, I guess you could go new, like if you're, if you've got like a newfangled, board game out there, but I'm thinking of the older board games that are out there, the classic board games that are out there. What are your favorite, board games? In honor of National Scrabble Day. You can text in at 806-680-2790. When we come back, we'll get into your phone calls, your text, and the news of the day.
Well, I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. You know it makes me feel good.
The Titan of Texas Talk Radio, The Chad Hasty Show.
Talking with newsmakers and about the issues that matter to you. The Chad Hasty Show, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Chad's show is also digital with the Chad Hasty Show podcast. The Chad Hasty Show podcast can be downloaded on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and the Radio On Demand page on KFYO.com. The Chad Hasty Show, all across Texas during your drive home, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Local events, newsmakers, and information. It's Sunrise LBK on KFYO.
Coming up on Sunrise LBK on Tuesday.
Hey, we've got a city council candidate, David Brugel, who's running for District 3. We'll hear from him.
Also, we are going to visit with Jackie Howard, J. Howard Realty. Make sure that you check it out because we get some real estate tips that you need to know about. Also, hey, we got a prize bomb coming up, including a gift card from the Silver Bullet and KFYO.
Hi, this is Gordon Deal. Tuesday on This Morning, America's First News. Hardline regimes like the one in Iran have staying power. How do they maintain their grips over citizens for so long? Also, with more Americans dropping so much weight on GLP-1s, clothing retailers expect to gain as our sizes change. Here are the likely beneficiaries. And last-minute money-saving ideas before tax day. Tuesday on This Morning, America's First News. Weekday mornings at 5 on News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO.
News Talk KFYO.
Chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me, how long you gonna stay here, Joe? Some people say this town don't look.
Back on the Chad AC Show. Well, it looks like his time is up. Eric Swalwell finally done. 5 months before Ariel Fedor, better known on social media as Mrs. Frazzled, helped set in motion the downfall of Eric Swalwell. She was singing his praises on Instagram. You know how I love to tell you, when I meet a politician who acts like a normal human and not a robot, she posted the day after the California Democrat launched his campaign for governor. She said, Eric is that. It was it was a fairly innocuous post, a prestigious professional poster on Instagram, but it was drew an unusual response. 3 people privately warned her that Swalwell was no good. Uh-oh. Those messages were the embers of a firestorm that in short order incinerated Swalwell's campaign, now engulfing what remains of his political career. Swalwell suspended his campaign Sunday, days after multiple news outlets reported on allegations that he sexually harassed women, had sexual relationships with subordinate staff, and in 2 cases committed sexual assault. Swalwell denied allegations that he had non-consensual sex with anybody, though he acknowledged personal failings. The broad contours of Swalwell's alleged behavior, if not the specifics, did not come as a surprise to many who worked in and around politics, especially in D.C. The 45-year-old cable news darling and Trump antagonist had developed a reputation for unsavory and sometimes unwanted behavior towards women. Those warnings were shared in whisper networks, but rarely traveled outside the circle of political insiders. Are you kidding me? This stuff was known about the guy for a long time. For years, people have been considered this guy a creep. Swalwell sought a promotion to lead the nation's most populous state, and a pair of content creators worked to spill that open into secret, into public view, as breakneck undoing, a testament to the striking power of a new media ecosystem in which influencers with huge audiences can not only publicize politicians but control the political conversation. This is nothing new, folks. There have been politicians taken down quickly before. Here's what this is. This is the Democrats eating their own. This is the Democrats out in California who their candidates they don't have a lot of broad appeal. The Democrats really don't have a lot of broad. There's not a Democrat that a lot of voters in California just look at and go, this person seems like a great person. Oh boy, I'm going to get burned for saying this. Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is a liar. Gavin Newsom is an absolute liar. But Gavin Newsom can win people over. Now, he'll stab you right in the back. once you turn around. But Gavin Newsom, he'll tell you a little story. He'll play about how nice he is and how he's a young guy who cares about everybody. And people go, you know what, that Gavin Newsom, he's a really nice guy. I can see voting for him for president, even though he's kind of ruined California. Okay. But hey, I could vote for that guy. You look at the Democrats who are running in California for governor right now, forget about Kamala Harris. Even though now there's apparently a campaign to get her back into the race. That's how desperate they are. Kelly Porter, she's not a Will Knight in California. Eric Swalwell, he's done. Thank goodness he's done. But, Eric Swalwell, he was the one out there. He was always saying that Trump was going after the young women, that Trump is a sexual abuser, and that Trump is this, Trump is that. And here you go, Eric Swalwell. Now it's you, buddy. I have no compassion at all for Eric Swalwell. None. He was going around attacking Trump, attacking Republicans, attacking Trump of being a Nazi and a sexual abuser and everything else. Hey, look at you. And now you've been taken down by a couple of influencers. He would have been taken down no matter what. The allegations were just so numerous out there. And the quote-unquote whisper campaign was getting louder and louder and louder. Let's see. People were saying they're paid. This is backed by a billionaire. This is Roger Stone. This is MAGA. This is, in the end, it was 3 women in a group chat trying everything in our power. It's just been us. Oh, good. The people in California still have a mess to vote for. Good luck on those Democrat candidates out there. Woo. They're all horrible. They're all terrible. They're all worse than Gavin Newsom. That's saying something. We'll be right back.
Call in to the Chad Hasty Show at 1-800-687-0790. The Chad Hasty Show, broadcasting on the Texas Town Square Media Network.
On the road with Mr. Rhodes. I see a lot of things on the road that make me wonder. Like someone in a cow costume selling beef jerky? I mean, if I were a cow, would I be selling beef? And one thing I've got to beef with is pedestrians not using intersections and crosswalks. Those horizontal stripes keep you from ending up horizontal. Cross only when the signal says walk. And always look left, right, left. That's a key to staying safe on foot. And that makes Mr. Rhodes very happy.
Be safe, walk smart. A message from TxDOT.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling. The limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
With 6 weeks until the May 26 primary runoff, the Republican race for U.S. Senate continues to be a virtual dead heat between Senator John Cornyn and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. In mid-February, Paxton had a 7-point lead over Cornyn, 49 to 42%. Not only is that gone, according to the latest numbers from pro-Cornyn Super PAC Texans for Conservative Majority, Cornyn now holds a 1 percentage lead, 44 to 43. Athletic apparel retailer Lululemon, the latest target of Texas Attorney General Ken Ken Paxton, issued a civil investigative demand into Lululemon USA to determine whether the company has misled consumers about the safety, quality, and health impacts of its products. Tanner Horner closer to learning if he'll be put to death for the murder of 7-year-old Athena Strand as week 2 of the punishment phase continues in a Fort Worth courtroom. WNBA draft is tonight. The Dallas Wings have the number 1 pick in the majors, the Rangers at the Athletics. With your Texas news headlines, I'm Barbara Schwartz.
Hurt in a car or truck wreck? Call Frankel and Frankel first. Mark and Scott Frankel, the go-to car and truck wreck attorneys in Texas, have been fighting for your rights for over 25 years. Before becoming personal injury lawyers, they defended insurance companies, so they know all the tricks and tactics insurers use to deny your claim. Trust the experienced, family-owned, and highly awarded Frankel & Frankel to put you first and get the resolution you deserve. And remember, it's a felony for an attorney to reach out to you directly or indirectly via third parties within the first 30 days after an accident. During this period, an attorney may only send a letter. Frankel & Frankel make it easy. From the free consultation to the very first phone call, they handle everything with no out-of-pocket costs. They only get paid when you win. If you or a loved one has been injured, reach out to Frankel & Frankel today at frankelfirm.com. That's FRENKEL firm.com. Principal office, Dallas, Texas.
South Plains weather forecast. It was a warm day today on this Monday. Now temperatures are dropping overnight in the lower 60s under mostly clear sky. Well, on Tuesday, temperatures about 85 degrees. And temperatures drop once again into the middle to upper 50s by Wednesday. Partly cloudy sky, but no precipitation. Introducing the new Sonic Refreshers made with real fruit. I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts on Lubbock's official weather station News Talk KFYO.
Financial news on KFYO.
I'm Dan Loney with Your Money Now. Tesla has received approval from the Netherlands for full self-driving vehicles in that country. It is the first European nation to grant that approval to Tesla. Tesla says that it will be rolling out vehicles in that nation that are full self-driving in the near future. Buyers are worried as the average cost of a new car surges. Car Guru's data says that new vehicles now sell for an average of nearly $50,000, which is up 30% in the last 6 years. Average monthly payments recently hit $775 a month. On the other end of the spectrum, the share of vehicles listing for less than $30,000 is about 13%. Solid start for Wall Street this week. Dow Industrial average up 302 points at 48,218. NASDAQ added 281 points. And the S&P 500 picked up 69. And that's Your Money Now.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
It's the best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM.
Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Tonight at midnight on KFYO.
The news and talk of West Texas. News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO.
It's the Chad Hasty Show.
All right, welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show. Appreciate you being out there today. And it's election season. You know, we've got runoff elections coming up. We've got municipal elections coming up. We're going to have candidates in and out the next few weeks and beyond who are going to be coming in and telling you about their campaign. And joining us in studio, he's ready for the runoff. Abraham Enriquez back with us, running for that crazy Texas 19 seat that is out there. And we got through election day. We got through a recount, and you're
still surviving, man. We're still surviving. I'm proud to be from West Texas because this campaign really showed. We really bulldozed that idea of my vote doesn't count narrative, right? I mean, over 180 votes got us into this runoff, and I'm proud. I'm proud of that because in the 7-person primary, we showed up. It was really all the grassroots that got us to this point, and now we get to 60% of voters. They rejected my opponent outright, so it's up to us to go and earn that support. Let's make it very clear: no one deserves to be the next congressman in this district, right? It's up to us to go and earn it. And that's what we're doing every single day.
So do you, after the election results that came in, do you and your team, do you get together and go, okay, here's where we need to either focus in on, because in Lubbock, you did very well in Lubbock. It seems like outside of Lubbock, and I think that's going to be for almost anyone who wasn't a Lubbock candidate.
Of course.
They've got to raise their name ID outside of Lubbock. And I noticed you were, if not today, yesterday, you were in Abilene. So is that kind of part of the next phase into the evolving campaign, is getting out into some more of the rural areas?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we went to every single county during this campaign, and we went to the top most populated counties at least twice, if not 3 times, during election day. As you know, Chad, when you're trying to fit a typical year and a half campaign in less than 2 months, every minute of every day counts. And so, yes, right after the runoff, it becomes a clean slate. It becomes a whole new campaign. And our team got a little bit more muscle as we now have members of, the political team of Governor Abbott and members of the political team of President Trump who joined forces and believed in this mission, believed in my campaign, more importantly, believed in our vision for West Texas and joined forces. So, yeah, we completely restructured on what does it mean to get Abraham Enriquez out in the campaign. But something that hasn't changed is when we go and we speak to voters, right, we're oftentimes winning them over. So the more time that I'm spending on the ground face to face with voters, the better we do. And that hasn't changed. Now, how we present our campaign on digital and on your phone, that's going to change a little bit, and I'm excited to present our campaign to voters here in the next coming days.
Yeah. So what when you're going out, and for those who are undecided in the race, maybe they were with a different candidate, or maybe they voted for your opponent who's still in the race, but they're still maybe undecided. They may not be passionate about who exactly they're going to vote for. How do you think you're winning those votes over?
Yeah, I mean, the choice could not be more clear. The 2 different candidates, a runoff is way different than when you're running against 7 other people. It's great that we have just one other opposing candidate, and the choice is clear. We're very different. I think at the end of the day, Chad, it just comes down to West Texas loves a fighter, right? And on June of 2023, I got on a 3 a.m. flight, Chad, and I went straight to Miami. And that was the day that President Trump was indicted by what then and now I still believe are politically motivated corrupt charges. And when President Trump stepped out of the court in Miami, the very first case that he was indicted in, he went down the street to a coffee shop where I was waiting for him with over 100 pastors ready to pray over him. And, spent some time with him, prayed over him. There's a lot of social media hits that you can see with me there. And that was one of the greatest moments, I would say, in my life, because I played a role in that fight for America. And I rolled up my sleeves, and I was the only candidate on the ballot that kept Kamala Harris out of the White House. I became a national surrogate of president's campaign, going to unfriendly territories, CNN, Telemundo, Univision, MSNBC, places where conservatives typically are shy. That's where the Trump campaign put me in. And every single day I was defending a president that had 99 federal cases. Let's bring that back to the local level, right? When the fight to protect life was on the ballot, There was only one candidate that was out there knocking on the doors, making the calls, driving people to the polls to ensure that we safeguard life in our district. And when the decriminalization of marijuana was on the ballot, only one of us was out there, again, making the calls, doing the door knocking, driving people to the polls. 2 days out of foot surgery, by the way. For me, that I've been in the fight. I've always been in the fight. And West Texas appreciates a fight. And at the end of the day, after this election, I don't think West Texas is going to vote for someone who found the Lubbock GOP the day he announced his candidacy. And that's the difference between me and my opponent.
So, okay, so what do you mean by that? That he found the Lubbock GOP when he
Let's put it this way. Michael Ward, right, a pillar of power in our community, has been in the Republican Party since the 1970s, right? Talk about someone that knows every precinct by memorization, every precinct chair by memorization. And when she says she's never met a Tom Sale, that should be a problem. When leaders like the Jane Cancino and a Jim Boxa that have shaped our party, not by money, but by hours of their volunteer work, say we've never met a Tom Sale, I have a problem with that. Me, Chad, I don't claim to be the longest server of the Lubbock GOP, but for the past decade, I've rolled up my sleeves and I've been there. And I also haven't seen my opponent in the trenches. So, at the precinct convention, I was a proud delegate to precinct 122. And my opponent, in his own words, said he didn't understand. He didn't have much connection with that process. I have a problem with that. And I think voters do too.
All right. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and take the break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Abraham Enriquez. He's in the runoff. In the Republican primary for Texas 19. We'll go to some other comments that he's had as well and see, hey, what did you mean by that? We'll be right back.
The Chad Hasty Show can be heard all over West Texas. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Tune into News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO in Lubbock. News Talk 940 in Amarillo. News Talk 94.7 and 1470 KYYW in Abilene. And in Wichita Falls on News Talk 96.3 and 1290. The Chad Hasty Show. Make it a part of your drive home. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Car Pro, Jerry Reynolds here. Tune in to KFYO every Thursday morning for my test drive of the week. I'll join Sunrise LBK's Tom Collins and Matt Crow as I share dealership tips and bring confidence back to the car buying process. Every Thursday morning at 7:30 right here on KFYO.
Americans love their credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. Now, this bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need the Social Security report. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
News Talk, KFYO.
Back on the Chad Hasty Show. We've got Abraham Enriquez in studio running for Texas 19 in that Republican runoff, which I believe the election day on that is May 26th.
May 26th, early voting, right? The 17th or the 22nd.
All right, so it'll be here before you know it, folks. And let's see. One thing that I wanted to ask you about, I think it was Lubbock Lights. They had an article, maybe a few weeks ago. And you were quoted saying that your opponent is a rhino. What do you mean by that? Because they're obviously, I think a lot of people know what traditional rhinos define. I think sometimes it's used a little too much to describe. Some people, like Ted Cruz, someone called Ted Cruz a rhino.
Yeah,
I went, okay, come on.
Cruz is not a rhino.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Why do you think your opponent is a rhino?
Can I tell you something, Chad? I am very against using the term rhino loosely. I think it is one of the things that hurt our Republican Party. And I've never called a single Republican a rhino. This is the first time I've ever done it. And you want to know why? Because I based it off of this simple truth. When you did not lift a finger to support President Trump, I would know. I was on the national surrogate campaign team. I know who in this district really supported the president, and it's a large number, right? When you didn't donate a penny, when you've made millions of dollars off of your lobbying career and didn't give a penny to President Trump, but bankrolled radical Democrats, and the only notable Republicans you have given to are John McCain and Mitt Romney, sir, that's a textbook definition of a rhino.
When it comes to his pushback on that is, hey, we all got to work together for cotton and ag. How do you square that?
I'm all about nonpartisan work. Listen, I don't know how people manage to work in Congress. I think they don't. I think people there go to retire, not to serve. But I do know what it's like working for a White House that sees things through deadlines. Brett Powell, the special director of President Trump, the special assistant to President Trump, and director of Office of Public Liaison of the White House, joined me last week in the White House. And she said, when President Trump, and I quote, when President Trump knew he had some of the toughest battles in policy, the White House knew to call on Abraham Enriquez for help. And she named one of the biggest policy pieces that I helped actually push across the finish line that I forgot because it was actually quite stressful. The one big beautiful bill. She said I was there on day one to help push policy. I'll get over a dozen pieces of legislation across the finish line with nonpartisan work, bipartisan work. I understand reaching across the aisle to work. That's not the problem. The problem is when your money, when you are investing in candidates, we're fighting in a Republican primary. I don't think Republican primary voters love to know that one of the leading candidates is the one that is bankrolling Democrats that are opposing our party. So I've been there. I've done the reaching across the aisle to build bipartisan consensus for the people of your community and getting things across the finish line. But I have never and will never donate a penny to a Democrat.
He's reportedly said that you're pro-amnesty. You and I talked about some tweets in the past. He said, no, I'm not pro-amnesty. I think there's a bill out right now that Republicans and Democrats are working on that would seem like a little bit of pro-amnesty.
It is pro-amnesty. Let's talk about it. It's pro-amnesty.
And you and I have talked about how after Trump, we know this is coming, that there's going to be a push from the Democrats and by some Republicans to put a bill out there. If you're elected, what would a bill that you would support, what would it look like? What would you not support?
Well, on day one, I promised I would file the Trump Border Legacy Act, which codifies President Trump's border policies. Everything we have right now, Chad, is through executive order. I think we need to codify President Trump's border policies. We need to put effective pressure on Mexico for them to if they want to be a better trading partner to the United States. Right now, they're our number one trading partner. If they want to continue being that partner, their southern border has to look a whole lot more secure than what it is now. No amnesty today, no amnesty ever. I think we actually even need to go a deep further and look into our H-1B visa process as well. My opponent at the debate at Hillcrest that you moderated, Chad, he could not stand on something that strict. In fact, I think he even gave a little bit of reference to a little bit of pro-amnesty things as it pertains to farm workers. I've spoken to our farmers and ranchers here. They want President Trump's border policies. And that's why the National Border Patrol Council endorsed me. And they said, I quote, Abraham Enriquez has the best border policies of any candidate, and it's not even close.
When it comes to post-Trump, which was going to happen, we know that.
Yeah.
You know, one way or the other, whether the House flips this year or not, we'll see. What do you think is the future direction? Because that's part of this too, right? Mm-hmm. Of, you know, which candidate is going to be there, which candidate's going to be in Washington D.C. to kind of lead the Republicans forward. What do you think the Republican Party is going to? What should it look like?
I mean, I think it should look what it is right now. I mean, you need to have.
That's going to be hard when Trump's not there. Exactly,
which is why I think that West Texas. You know, okay, let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a little insight conversation that I had, which is why I'm even running. One of my good friends is the political director of the White House. And I called him and I said, am I crazy for wanting to run in this congressional race? And he said, you are absolutely 100% crazy. And he said, but it takes that kind of crazy, Abraham, to get things done. And he said something that really, till today, it really, I had to hold on to it as I'm campaigning. And he said, right now, the Democrats have chosen a radical socialist Muslim from New York City to be one of the faces, to be the face of their coalition and their movement. And guess what? He's actually resonating with young voters, right? And minority voters. What does it say, Abraham? What could it say? That one of the most conservative districts in America, primarily white, could give the grandson of farm workers, Hispanic, first-generation American, a chance to be one of the faces of our coalition, right? When you look at Texas, it's a majority Hispanic in population, meaning in 2 election cycles, it's going to be majority on the voter rolls. When you look at our district, Chad, I think in Lubbock County, the average voter is 41 years old. We are a young demographic. Do I believe you need a Hispanic at the top of the ticket to win the vote? No, I don't. But you need to talk about the issues that they care about, the rising cost of living, home ownership, the American dream. We have a candidate on this ticket that is only talking about one thing, and that is big ag. And I think ag is important. Small ag is important. But we also need to talk about the economic engine that is Texas Tech, ACU, LCU, Hardin-Simmons, right? We need to talk about our healthcare communities. The rising crisis at Covenant and Healthcare and UMC are struggling with rural healthcare, right? I think when you talk about the issues, break it down in a way that the everyday voter can understand it. That's how you continue the America First MAGA coalition. And right now we have my opponent, who is so out of touch with our district, has spent 20 years of his life lobbying in D.C. And when you talk about some of these issues, I mean, that there is no response. And I think that's why voters are coming our way, because we know the issues, because we're actually talking to voters.
Are people talking about data centers to you?
Oh my, yes they are.
Okay,
yes, they are.
So what? Because it seems like this is one of those issues where some Republicans are on one side of it. Not everyone's in agreement.
Yeah.
People are concerned.
Yeah.
They're not always sure why they're fully concerned.
Yeah.
But people are concerned about data centers. What do they say to you?
Well, I mean, if you're an Abilene resident, you're concerned about it because you feel like you're going to get priced out of the housing market, right? If you are a resident in Andrews, you're concerned about it because of the water supply, right? Being concerned about AI centers is not a one-size-fits-all. You travel all 33 counties, you can get 33 different responses as to what they believe is a concern with the AI centers. But at the end of the day, Chad, almost every voter that's concerned is still somewhat optimistic of convince me this is good for us. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm at. I'm convinced me this is good for West Texas. Right now, I'm about growth. I'm about investment only when it's accountable to the community and those that live in it.
Yeah. Where can people find out more information about you and your campaign?
Yeah, join us at AbrahamEnriquez.com or on all our social medias, Abraham4, F-O-R-T-X, Texas.
All right. Very good. Abraham Enriquez in the studio today. You can go back, listen to the podcast, and hear the entire interview if you missed any of that. When we come back, we're going to get you up to speed on the big arts festival that's coming to Lubbock this weekend. And we've got much more in the next hour. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Chad Hasty Show, a presentation of Texas Town Square Media Network. The views and opinions expressed during the Chad Hasty Show are not necessarily the views of this station's staff, management, advertisers, or Town Square Media.
Hey, it's Buck Sexton. Join me and Clay as we sound off every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 5 on News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO.
The state, the nation, the world. From a Texas perspective. News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO Lubbock.
It's 6 o'clock in Texas.
He says progress was made. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Vice President J.D. Vance just back from Pakistan, where he conducted high-level talks with Iranian leaders. He tells Fox's Brett Baer.
What the President of the United States has said is, number one, Iran could never have a nuclear weapon. So all of our red lines flow from that fundamental premise.
On opening the Strait of Hormuz, Vance said the expectation is that Iran will make progress to open the strait. As for another round of talks, Vance said the ball is in Tehran's court. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer blasted President Trump for his attacks on Pope Leo XIV.
Called the Bible his favorite book on the campaign trail, but can't name a single verse. Who sells a Trump-branded presidential election of the Bible made in China for $100.
The president called Leo weak on crime and said he should get his act together after Leo said he's opposed to the conflict in Iran. Leo said he has no fear of the Trump administration or of speaking out about the message of the gospel. California Democrat Eric Swalwell resigning from Congress after multiple allegations of sexual assault.
In a statement, Swalwell says he is deeply sorry to his family, staff, and constituents for mistakes made in the past, but says he will fight the serious and false allegation made against him. A former member of his staff is accusing Swalwell of sexual assault. He says it is wrong for his constituents to have him distracted from his duties. A vote was expected this week in the House to expel Swalwell from Congress.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. Texas Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez has pushed up his retirement date as he faces bipartisan calls to expel him after a woman he was having an affair with took her own life. In a statement, Gonzalez said he will file the papers tomorrow when Congress returns, though it's not clear if he plans to resign effective tomorrow. This matters because the margins between Democrats and Republicans in Congress are so small. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, this is Gordon Deal. Tuesday on This Morning, America's First News. Hardline regimes like the one in Iran have staying power. How do they maintain their grips over citizens for so long? Also, with more Americans dropping so much weight on GLP-1s, clothing retailers expect to gain as our sizes change. Here are the likely beneficiaries. And last-minute money-saving ideas before tax day. Tuesday on This Morning, America's First News.
Weekday mornings at 5 on News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO.
South Plains weather forecast. It was a warm day today on this Monday. Now temperatures are dropping overnight in the lower 60s under mostly clear sky. Well, on Tuesday, temperatures about 85 degrees. And temperatures drop once again into the middle to upper 50s by Wednesday. Partly cloudy sky, but no precipitation. Introducing the new Sonic Refreshers made with real fruit. I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts on Lubbock's official weather station, News Talk KFYO.
Broadcasting from the great state of Texas, news and views with a Lone Star perspective. You can sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Or call in at 1-800-687-0790. Now, here's Chad Hasty.
All right, welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show, final hour of the program. A little bit later on, share some thoughts from when Abraham Enriquez was on. I want to get your thoughts as well. What'd you think? He's running in that Republican primary in Texas 19. We'll get to those here in just a bit. But before we do that, we've got a great event, one of those great events that come up in Lubbock, and we know a lot of you We've got listeners in Amarillo and Abilene, Wichita Falls, Midland, all over the place. You're tuning in this evening. Why should you make plans to come to Lubbock this weekend? Well, because we've got one of the I think it's still one of the largest arts festivals in the state. It's the Lubbock Arts Festival happening this weekend, and joining us in studio to talk about it, we have Carrie Arianos in the studio. Carol, welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm great, Chad. Thank you for having me. And yes, I am here to promote and tell everybody about the 48th Annual Lubbock Art Festival, presented by United Supermarkets, and it will be featuring over 100 visual artists from across the nation, live performances, interactive exhibits, and family-friendly art activities.
That's awesome. So 48 years for the Art Festival. You've been around for about 8 of the Art Festival. You've been part of the board member for the Arts Festival. Just in your time being there, how have you seen it grow and change in the last 8 years?
Oh, man. I think every year Elizabeth and her team just does it better. Every year we learn from it, and we're always trying to, get to that bar because this is the largest art festival in West Texas.
Yeah.
We have also been nominated Best in Texas by the Texas Festival and Events Association, and we have received the Grand Pinnacle Award by the International Festival and Events Association. So, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great event. If you haven't been out to the Arts Festival before, you get to spend as much time as you want to. I mean, really, it's nice going around, talking to the artists, seeing some of the different things on display. And, of course, you can make a purchase as well. You can make more than one purchase. There's always a kids area as well. So kind of talk about that. Just for those who haven't been before, what can people experience?
Oh, they can experience all of it. So definitely come and just be ready to have fun. But this year's theme is Bloom. It is inspired by flowers and reflects the growth, beauty, and vitality of the arts. We will also have our spotlight performance, which is outrageous. They are an electrifying fusion of light painting, music, and dance on the stage. Those tickets are $15, but kids 12 and under get them for free if they're with a paid ticket adult. And that event is on Saturday. Doors open at 2 and the show's at 3.
Okay. And kind of tell people what the ticket prices are going to be, what times the event is as well.
Yes. So the times are Saturday. Times are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sunday, it's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Adults are $7 at the door, but if you get your ticket online, it's $5. And you can also go to Prosperity Bank locations to get a free adult ticket. All of the locations except the Texas Tech one. Children and under are free with a paid adult, and we hope to see everybody there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's always a fun event, always a great event for people to go to and see. For kids, what about the kids? What do you have lined up for the kids? I know it's always changing, it seems.
The kids, yes. Oh, we have things for the kids. We had the Busy Bee. It's an interactive experience where children get to explore giant Texas prairie, learning about pollinations. They kind of get to act like it's a bee themselves. So they'll go around and pollinate different flowers. So that was a big hit. We'll have the chalk art area and the children's art area with all the hands activity or free hands-on art activities. So, I mean, there's just going to be so much things for everybody, kids, grandparents, moms and dads. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And then I know in past years, we've seen some of the different organizations that are out there, some art organizations that are out there, who do different classes and everything else. So if you ever have wanted to join a group like that, you can probably find out some more information when you head out to the Arts Festival this weekend. Again, Saturday and Sunday over at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. Carol, thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me, Chad. And one more point. If any information is needed, just go to the LubbockArtsFestival.org. They can find everything on there.
All right. Very good. It's the Lubbock Arts Festival. It's coming up this weekend, the 48th annual Lubbock Arts Festival. We're coming up on the big 5-0 in a couple of years, so they're going to be aiming high on that one. But the Lubbock Arts Festival gets bigger and better every single year. Head on out and see it this weekend at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. When we come back, your phone calls, your text messages, and much more on the Chad Hasty Show.
Oil down the desert way, have to shake it to the top. The shaky drove his Cadillac.
The Titan of Texas Talk Radio, the Chad Hasty Show.
Talking with newsmakers and about the issues that matter to you. The Chad Hasty Show, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Chad's show is also digital with the Chad Hasty Show podcast. The Chad Hasty Show podcast can be downloaded on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and the Radio On Demand page on KFYO.com. The Chad Hasty Show, all across Texas during your drive home, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
When you see a car that's been in a bad crash, it's no accident. When it backs traffic up for miles, no accident. And if there's a fatality involved, somebody died. That's no accident either. A lot of the time, it was speeding. And it's no accident that speeding is a factor in more than 150,000 crashes every year in Texas. Many of them fatal. So slow down. Be safe. Drive smart. A message from TxDOT.
All right, back on the Chad Hasty Show. Appreciate you tuning in today and send in your thoughts on the text line at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Thanks to Carol Arianos for stopping by and talking about the the Lubbock Arts Festival that's coming up this weekend, and also Abraham Enriquez stopping by in the last half hour of the program. Some texters weighed in. Chad, I thought that was maybe the best interview with Abraham that I've heard. I thought he did very well this go along, and answered most of the questions the way I've been hoping to hear them answered. Tom Sell is someone that I think can do a good job. In fact, I think both can do a good job. There's just something about Tom that doesn't that gives me pause. Okay, let's see another texture regarding Abraham. I thought Abraham did fantastic. We'll be voting for him in the runoff. Another texture. I wasn't sure what to expect with Abraham's interview, but it went very well. I think Abraham is exactly right when he talks about wanting a fighter. It's something you and many others have talked about, wanting fighters in Washington, D.C. I don't see the same spirit in Tom that I see in Abraham. From CJ weighing in on the text line. It's Nick, what are you laughing for? I saw you laughing. Okay. I will say this about Abraham, and I thought he did well today in the interview. I'm going to give him a lot of credit because in the last interview that we had, Nick, I didn't think it went that well. And I got a lot of feedback from folks who were like, I don't think that went very well. And there were a lot of people who thought that he had kind of crashed and burned on it. I give him a lot of credit because here's the thing, folks. There have been a lot of candidates who have come in and they've done interviews where we ask, I think, very relevant questions, and questions that sometimes they like to answer, sometimes they don't like to answer. And when they get questions that they don't like to answer, oftentimes they won't come back, or they'll take a while to come back to the show, and they'll they just don't want to answer any type of tough questions. They don't want to answer any hard questions. They feel burned. They feel insulted. They feel as though they don't need to take any time to answer any questions that are out there. By the way, have we heard from Ken Paxton's office about coming on and doing an interview? No? Okay. So there are some candidates out there who are like that, where they just want to stay away for whatever reason it may be. Abraham was excited about coming in, doing the interview, and I had texted him, I guess it was, late last week, saying, hey, do you want to come back on the show? And it was within a couple of hours. He texted me back going, absolutely. And so I give him a lot of credit for that, because there are a lot of other candidates that I don't think would have come back and done an interview. Just throwing that out there. I've seen where some of these, especially folks who are not as seasoned in their political careers, who once they have a perceived bad interview, they just kind of stay away. And I think that says a lot. I'll just put it that way. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Let's see. State Rep Tony Gonzalez says there's a season for everything, and God has a plan for us. When Congress returns tomorrow, I will file my retirement from office. It has been my privilege to serve the great people of Texas. Yeah, big breaking news there, as Tony Gonzalez is out, announcing his resignation from the House. Rep. Tony Gonzalez said he plans to resign Tuesday, weeks after the Texas Republican admitted to having an affair with a staff member. He did not specify whether he intended to leave his seat Tuesday or at a future date. The Texas Republican, who previously announced he would not seek re-election due to the allegations, said he would resign outright just over an hour after Democrat Rep. Eric Swalwell of California announced that he would leave his seat amid his own allegations of sexual misconduct with staff. Gonzalez facing an ethics committee investigation into the alleged violations, which will be closed upon his resignation. He admitted last month to having an affair with a staffer who later died by suicide. Not only did she die by suicide, she lit herself on fire. Republican leaders previously calling Gonzalez to suspend his campaign, which was heading towards a runoff against conservative influencer Brandon Herrera. What was widely viewed as recognition of the GOP's tiny House margin, they had not called on him to resign as they awaited the ethics investigation to play out. Had he not announced his resignation, Gonzalez would have faced a bipartisan expulsion effort later this week. So, you've got Swalwell resigning from Congress. You've got Tony Gonzalez resigning from the House. You've got Today's Resignation Monday, I guess you could say, for the some elected officials out there. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. You can send in your thoughts on the text line. One texter asking, what is the latest in Iran? I guess the latest is Trump having the Iran blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump threatens military action in the Strait of Hormuz if Iran challenges the new blockade. This out of Politico. President Trump threatening additional military action against Iran in the Strait of Hormuz just hours after a U.S. blockade of the critical waterway went into effect earlier Monday. In a post to Truth Social, the president said the entire Iranian Navy has been obliterated with 158 ships at the bottom of the sea. What hasn't been attacked, he said, are the small number of what they call fast attack ships. While those ships are not currently considered a threat, Trump said, if the U.S. will strike if Iran attempts to weaponize them. Now, these ships have been used in the past to antagonize U.S. and other ships. Quote, warning, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will immediately be eliminated using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers and their boats at sea, Trump said. It'll be quick and brutal. Trump announced the U.S. naval blockade on the Strait of Hormuz on Sunday, threatening to destroy what little is left of Iran after peace talks led by Vice President J.D. Vance fell apart in Islamabad on Saturday, which I think everyone kind of saw that coming. I've been reading some of these pieces by Democrats out there who say that J.D. Vance is he's losing all over the place. He's losing face here with striking a deal with the Iranians. The Iranians don't want a deal. The Iranians want to just wait because they want the Americans to get bored. They want the Americans just to move on. Their way of survival or surviving just as a government, for them, that's a win. So they don't have to get very much. Just being in power gives them a win. And J.D. Vance has a very tough job to do in going in and negotiating with people who are a little bit crazy. You know, again, these are the same people who wanted to, have death to Israel, death to the United States. It may be a younger group that want that, but there's still a group of people who want that. It may not be the old regime, but the old regime in the way of thinking, it still is. They're very, very similar. You know, everybody wants this to be an easy, okay, we're winning because we've taken this out, or we've won the war because we've taken this out. It was never going to be that black and white. And again, maybe that's a discussion that should have taken place before the U.S. launched any operations, but it didn't. But I think the American people, that's what a lot of the American people are just used to. Is seeing who's winning right now, who's got the flag flying above the Capitol, who is destroyed the most. Well, the U.S. has destroyed the most, so we must be winning. Well, if you're the Iranians, as long as your power structure is in place, you're still kind of winning. It may not be a great victory, but you're still there. When we come back, your phone calls, your text. and more.
The Chad Hasty Show, weekdays 5 to 7 p.m. Sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790.
When I'm driving, I look twice for motorcycles.
I look twice because motorcycles are easy to miss.
I look twice just in case a motorcycle's in my blind spot.
I look twice at intersections and before I turn left.
I look twice because I want to know for sure.
I look twice for motorcycles because I don't want to hurt anyone.
Look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it. A message from Texas Department of Transportation.
Hi, Angie. This is your phone here in the cup holder. Pick me up.
No, I'm driving.
Oh, look, a text from Mr. Dreamy.
Hush, driving here.
I'm getting an email. Gwen is giving away free bunnies.
No, you are so pushy.
I know. I need therapy. Let's search it now.
Phone, quiet.
Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Talk, text, crash. A message from TxDOT.
The FBI has raided the Woodlands home of a suspect accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's house in San Francisco early Friday morning. Daniel Moreno Gama is facing federal charges. We've got new poll numbers in the Republican primary runoff between Senator John Cornyn and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. With 6 weeks until the May 26th primary runoff, Cornyn has a 1% lead, 44 to 43%. Now, that is according to the latest poll from the pro-Cornyn Super PAC Texans for a conservative majority. The owners of Camp Mystic were questioned in court today about the moments leading up to the catastrophic flooding July 4th. The hearing, part of a lawsuit filed by the family of Seal Stewart, who was killed. Her body still not has been found. 27 campers or counselors were killed that day. Statewide average for a gallon of gasoline, $3.80. That's down a penny overnight. With your Texas news headlines, I'm Barbara Schwartz.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell, and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Introducing Bluebell Pro, a dessert with up to 12 grams of protein and 110 calories or less per serving. Low fat, no added sugars, and gluten-free. Dig into a pint. It's more than just protein. It's Bluebell Pro. Good for you. Never tasted so good.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
South Plains weather forecast. It was a warm day today on this Monday. Now temperatures are dropping overnight in the lower 60s under mostly clear sky. Well, on Tuesday, temperatures about 85 degrees. And temperatures drop once again into the middle to upper 50s by Wednesday. Partly cloudy sky, but no precipitation. Introducing the new Sonic Refreshers made with real fruit. I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts on Lubbock's official of the station News Talk KFYO.
Local events, newsmakers, and information. It's Sunrise LBK on KFYO.
Coming up on Sunrise LBK on Tuesday.
Hey, we've got a city council candidate, David Brugel, who's running for District 3. We'll hear from him.
Also, we are going to visit with Jackie Howard, J. Howard Realty. Make sure that you check it out because we got some real estate tips that you need to know about. Also, hey, we got a prize bomb coming up, including a gift card from the Silver Bullet and KFYO.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. New court filings in an Iowa murder case offer a glimpse of the prosecution's evidence in a fatal shooting that shook the real estate industry 15 years ago. 53-year-old Kristen Ramsey was arrested last month for first-degree murder in the April 2011 death of Ashley Auckland. Auckland was working an open house at a model townhouse when she was shot in the face and the chest at close range. Court documents say a woman who was in a neighboring townhome said she heard two loud noises a few seconds apart, then saw Ramsey by the model home's front door before she was seen by her car talking on her phone. The filings show that call was to an employee of the company that owned the development. At the time, Ramsey was a sales manager. After Ramsey drove off erratically, the witness went to the home and found Auckland unresponsive. 2 search warrants were executed at Ramsey's home, including one carried out less than a month after the shooting. In both cases, the document says authorities found guns, illegal substances, and posters threatening violence. There's more on the story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute.
Empowering West Texas with news that matters. News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO.
Don't forget about Chad. Find Chad on social media at Chad Hasty Radio on X and Instagram. It's the Chad Hasty Show.
All right, welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show. Appreciate you being out there today. Got one little area of thunderstorms. Something just trying to pop up a little bit south of us, it looks like. Should be over the city of Sweetwater between 7:04 and 7:20. It'll right along parts of I-20 will get hit by it as that storm is moving more northeast right now. But that's where it's tracking. It's as of right now a little bit south of Sweetwater. 806-680-2790. Let's see some areas. We've had some other areas of rain just outside of Haskell. Again, just small thunderstorms, basically, that are starting to pop up along the line. Let's see. Tom Sells spent so much on ads. I hope he loses and goes away. Well, I mean, you gotta. There's nothing wrong with putting ads out there. I'll say that. You got to remind people that you're running. It takes money to run. He's been able to raise a lot of money, and I think you'll see both candidates dropping some cash to put their message out there. I think you're going to see a few more swings out there from these candidates as now they can. You're in the runoff. You got to go. You got to do it. You got to push your message forward, and remind people who you are and what you're running for. And if you are someone like Abraham, who wants to come across as the fighter, okay, here's your fight. Let's see, go out there and fight for it. And so that's something that he's going to do. That he's going to have to do. I had one texter asking who is the favorite in that race. Look, Tom still got about 40% of the vote. Runoffs are very strange, though. Runoff elections can often be won by the second place vote getter. Sometimes you will see the first place, and I'm not saying that Tom Sell is doing this, but sometimes you will see the person who finishes in first goes, you know what? Just going to cruise to victory. I'm going to just do enough to win this thing and get into the general election, and that's what I'm going to do. You have candidates who are running in the runoff, and there you are. They're that second place finisher, and they look at it and go, what What do I have to lose? If I want this, I better get out there and I better run. I better do as much campaigning as humanly possible. And that can often speak to a lot of people because you're out there, you're doing it. You're fighting those battles every single day. You're on the campaign trail. I think we're going to see both candidates out there on the campaign trail as we get closer to the runoff. I think you're going to see both. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. You can weigh in and sound off on any of the topics, any of the issues, any of the big issues that we've talked about today. Feel free to get into. Hey, how about this? John Cornyn, his campaign, super excited about this new poll that came out. A poll from a pro-Cornyn super PAC. Texans were a conservative majority. This was first seen in Playbook DC, showing that John Cornyn is on top of Ken Paxton, 44% to 43%. Woo! That is a tie. When you look at the margin of error at 3%, Cornyn is at +8 with senior citizens. So that's something to note. But other than that, I would not say, I know the Cornyn camp really wanted to get this out there. They really wanted this out there. I don't think this is good news for John Cornyn. This is your own poll. This is a friendly polling outfit, and you've dropped over $1 million for this re-election campaign already, and you're at +1? Really? I don't think that's very good. I don't think I would be too excited about that. What they're trying to show is that, at least in the race, Paxton's numbers have fallen some, those of John Cornyn's. In the March poll, both Cornyn and Paxton were at 45%. Now Cornyn is at 44%. Paxton is at 43%. And the I don't know number has come up from 10% to 13%. I mean, this isn't great. I have seen better numbers released from campaigns. I'll put it that way. So again, I'm sure the Cornyn camp, any numbers they can find that are good, they're going to put out there. But oh boy, to me this doesn't look very positive for John Cornyn, and they haven't been able to find a message that really resonates with anybody. They haven't been able to find that message that is anti-Paxton that just lands and keeps people from going and supporting Paxton. I think this is still Paxton's race to lose. Yeah, I think this is still his race to lose. Let's see. When is the runoff elections? I know the election day for the runoff is March 26th. So you've got that. We'll get you all the dates because they're starting to run together. You've got different campaigns. You've got different elections out there that are they're about to start running together. And it's going to be one where this is what drives people to stay home. They get confused by it. They decide to just stay home. They decide not to go and vote because they can't remember which primary is when or when the municipal election is going. Yeah. Gwen, the Cornyn campaign reminds me of the beginning of the Holy Grail movie. I'm not dead yet. That's a good one. Nick, have you ever seen Quest for the Holy Grail? Okay. On one hand, I'm surprised. On the other hand, I'm really not surprised that you've seen. But I'm very happy that you have seen Quest for the Holy Grail. In the nights that say, "Nyeh." Such a great movie. I don't know if the kids watch that movie like they should, but it's one of the most quotable movies that are out there. And that should, in the state of Texas, if we're going to require all this stuff in classrooms, I think we should require the Quest for the Holy Grail as required watching, at least by junior high. At least by junior high. 806-680-2790. Merely a flesh wound. We'll be right back.
On a morning from a Bogart movie.
The Chad Hasty Show can be heard all over West Texas. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Tune into News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO in Lubbock. News Talk 940 in Amarillo. News Talk 94.7 and 1470 KYYW in Abilene. And in Wichita Falls on News Talk 96.3 and 1290. The Chad Hasty Show. Make it a part of your drive home. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
It's the best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM.
Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Tonight at midnight on KFYO.
Back on the Chad HD Show, Jay and Paducah bring us some shrubbery. I feel bad for my wife. She's going to have to watch that movie tonight, I think. Oh, man. I feel bad for her. I really don't. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. You've got that runoff for the Texas 19 race that's happening May 26th. Early voting May 18th is when that starts. And let's see, for the municipal elections, you've got Election Day Tuesday, May 2nd. And you've got early voting beginning April 20th. So we're coming up on it. We really are. And this is one of those where we're going to have the mayor of Lubbock, Texas. He's going to join us later on this week in studio to talk about his campaign. There's not a lot of how do I put this? It doesn't sound like there's a lot of momentum one way or the other in the municipal campaigns. We'll see, maybe. they get a little bit heated. For those of you in Lubbock, let me tell you, you've got some important races out there. You've got the mayor; he's up for re-election. We know that. He's got a few challengers, including Stephen Sanders, who's running once again. It's his 5th time running, and he just continues to run for office. You've got in District 1. You've got District 1 up for re-election. You've got Christy Martinez Garcia set to face Pat Kelly, who has run a couple of times before as well. You've got District 3. It's going to be a very, very important election here between David Brugel, the chairman of the Lubbock County Republican Party. He's running against the local community activist. Also, he ran for mayor a couple of years ago, Adam Hernandez, far leftist. And but he's Adam Hernandez. Let me tell you, Adam Hernandez is very dangerous because he comes in as a guy he's a very smooth talker. He doesn't come across, I think in person, he doesn't come off as a real whacked out leftist. You view him on Facebook, he absolutely is. He hates Trump supporters. He absolutely hates Donald Trump, thinks Trump is a Nazi. I'm sure he absolutely hates all Trump supporters who are out there, looks down on Trump supporters. But this is a guy who's very involved in the school district. He's very involved in the community. He is. I give him credit. He's very involved. People see him out there. People see him hustling. He's involved in the community. He is somebody who wants to change the direction of the city of Lubbock, and I don't think he would disagree with me saying that. And he is somebody who I think can appeal to a lot of folks who do not pay attention every single day to local politics. And that's a dangerous candidate. That is a very dangerous candidate. You also have running in that primary. His name is Gil Cali, I guess, the interim president of Lubbock's LGBTQ advocacy group. So you've got two very big leftists running in that. Obviously trying to push that to a runoff, I think is what they're trying to do in that race. So there you have that. Let's see, texture. I thought I heard you say the primary runoff was March 26th. Did you mean May 26th? Which one did I say? Did I say May 26th? May 26th is the runoff election for Congress and for the Texas Senate seat. All right, let's see. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe, stay healthy. May God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 5 p.m.
The Chad Hasty Show, a presentation of Texas Town Square Media Network. The views and opinions expressed during the Chad Hasty Show are not necessarily the views of this station, staff, management, advertisers, or Town Square Media.